Right, we'll start with the Java for Java again, somewhat medium questions. All right, are you able to hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Right now, what is the first question will be that what is the hierarchy of the exception here? Right, can anyone explain what is the hierarchy of
So
hierarchy of yes,
the base
sir.
class is base class is throwable and then error and exception.
Okay. Yeah, Abhi, we are unable to hear you.
Actually, I already remember that much.
Oh, okay, that's fine. No issues. Right, anyone want to try? No one have idea. Okay, fine. Right. Mostly we will get this question. Right, exception handling. Right. What is the root class for all the exceptions? It is a throw. Right. Throwable is the root class for all the exceptions. Under that we have two types. One is the exceptions. One is the errors. Right. One is the exceptions. Exception class will be there. Error class will be there. Right. Errors we cannot handle in the program. Right. Errors we cannot handle. Right. uh, right, stack overflow error. Suppose our memory is full. Right, suddenly our memory was full. Right, we cannot do anything. Right, it will stop the program. Right, we cannot handle that scenario. Right, all the errors, whatever the errors, right, we cannot handle in the program. Errors cannot be handled. Only exceptions can be handled in the program. We can handle only exceptions. Right, we have throwable is the root class. Under that, we have exception and errors. Error we cannot handle. Stack overflow error, out of memory error. Correct? Those things we cannot handle. Coming to exception, under exception class, right? Under exception class, we have again runtime checked exceptions, unchecked exceptions. Checked exceptions, unchecked. Unchecked, we will call it as a runtime exception. Right. Under exception, we have a checked and unchecked exceptions. Unchecked exceptions, we can also call it as a runtime exception. Right. Runtime exceptions mean what? Right. We will get at the runtime. Right. We don't know at the while writing the code, we don't know. But at runtime, we will get suddenly some exception due to our programming issue or data issue. You are reading data from somewhere or Excel or database. Data is not there. We will get the exception. Right, like null pointer exception, right, arithmetic exception, right, area index out of bounds exception, right, class not found. These are all some of the runtime exceptions. Right, runtime exceptions will occur while executing the program due to data issue or some programmatic issues. Right, it is called runtime or unchecked exception. And one more is checked exceptions. Right, checked exceptions we have to handle at the time of writing the code itself. Right, suppose you are reading the some file, right, file not found exception. Right, we have to handle at the time of writing the code itself. We have to handle the checked exception either by using try catch or throws keyword. Right, either by using try catch or throws keyword. We have to handle. Right, we have a this is the hierarchy. Hierarchy is what? throwable. Under that we have two types. One is exception, one is errors. Errors we cannot handle. Stack overflow, out of memory. These things we cannot handle in the program. Only exceptions. Under exception we have checked and unchecked exception. Right, that is exception. We have checked and unchecked. Unchecked also we call it as runtime. Right, under runtime we have right null pointer exception, arithmetic exception, right, area index out of bounds exception. Right, these things. And coming to checked exception, we will have a file not found exception, IO exceptions. Basically, IO exception, right, SQL exception, right, interrupted exceptions. Right, when you write thread dot sleep, it will throw interrupted exception. That is a checked exception, right? At the time of writing code itself, we have to handle it either by using try catch or throw sleep. Right, that is about the hierarchy of the exception. Right, fine. Okay. We'll move to next one. Right. What is the right? What is the linked hash map? Right. What is the linked hash map?
Linked hash map is one of the collections which is used when we want to uh, sort the elements without duplicates and also uh, preserving the order.
Okay. Right. But it will not sort. Only preserve the order.
Okay.
Okay. Anyone? Okay. Fine. Right. Linked hash map is child class of the map. Right. Child class of the map. Right. It is used to linked hash map is used to store the key value pairs as a group of values. Right. Any map if you take, it is used to store group of values as a key value pairs. Right. If I want to store the key value pair, like a student ID, student name, I want to store like a student ID, student name, or student name, student marks. Right. Like that. If you want to store as a key value pairs, then we will go for a map. Right. Then linked hash map is the child class of the map. And then it has a special feature. It will not allow, right, it will not allow duplicates and it will also preserve the order. Right. Usually hash map will not preserve the order. Right. Whatever order I have written, if you display the map, it will not display. It will display every time different order. But a linked hash map, special feature, it has a, it will preserve the order. It will preserve the order. That is the special feature. Sometimes they will ask interview. They want to right preserve the order. Whatever order I have stored, same order I want to print it. Which map will be useful, right? Linked hash map. Right, that is the one is. Then one more, right, one more question. Why string is immutable? Right, why string is immutable?
String is immutable because if we create an object of it, right, we cannot change the content of that. So it is called as immutable.
Right, that is right. But why we have to make it? Why Java people make it as immutable? Is there any reason?
Maybe memory management. It will be string pool that is creating, right? So next time when we are creating, it will check whether it is already there.
Right.
Memory.
Right.
Even for security reasons, like if anyone tries to modify that, it will not allow.
Right.
For
That is
example, in
also
the case of
mm,
password.
right. Right, that is also correct. Okay, fine. One is the security, one is the memory, efficient memory, and one more is the basic. Suppose if we create any string letter, right? A string is equal to something automation, S1, S2, S3, all are automation. What will happen? It will point to same memory location. All are point to same memory location. String constant pool. Whenever we create any right characters, automation I am creating with different string objects S1, S2, S3. Right, all will point to same memory. Right. Whenever I will create as a literal in the string constant pool, it will point to same memory. It will not create a different memory address. Right, same memory address. Suppose if someone is changed, right? S1, S2, S3, S4, S5, all are pointed to same string. All right, all have a same content, same memory. Suppose if someone is changed, right? S1 is updated automation to something else, automation testing. Right? If it is not immutable, string is not immutable, suppose. What will happen? Everyone will affect. Right? Uh, Right? If it is not immutable, if I change the string, S1 is changed. S1 is changed to content to automation testing. What will happen in the same memory? Suppose if it is updated, everyone will affect. Right? Remaining people also will be affected. So due to right, that is the one of the main reason that why string is immutable. Right, that's why. If suppose anyone change the, it will create a new memory address. That's why every time, right? Whenever you just so that what will happen, other people will not impact. Right, whoever changed, that people will create a new memory. Right, remaining people will not affect it. Right, that is one of the main reason why string is immutable. Right, if you change also, right, what will happen? It will not affect other people. It will create the new memory. And one more is security reasons and memory management also. That's security and memory management also. Right. Mm. Right. Then coming to next question. Right. What is element click intercepted exception? Right. What is element click intercepted exception? That is one of the Selenium exception.
So like if you want to click on web element, right, and then suppose it is not getting clicked properly, or maybe some other element is receiving on that DOM, or it is intercepting some pop-up or overlapping the elements like that, or it is disabled, or some attribute is not correct in the backend, or it is somehow not clicked right, then we'll get that element click intercept. Or maybe
Right. Right. Okay. Anyone? Right. That is correct. What explained. Right. Element intercepted. Right. Element click intercepted. That means we are trying to click some element. Maybe it is covered by some other element, or suddenly, right, you are trying to click on it. There is suddenly some window is opened or pop-up is opened. Right, what will happen? This element will cover by another element. Right, when you are trying to click, it is covered by some other element. Then immediately we will get a element click intercepted. That means it is unable to click on that element. Instead of clicking that element, it is clicking somewhere else. It is intercepted. Right, and also maybe page is not fully loaded. Right, we are trying to click on it. It is element is visible but not properly loaded. Right, in that case also element click intercepted, we will get it. Right, that is right, one of the tricky question, element click intercepted. And also one more question also, what is tail element exception? Right, what is the tail element exception? Anyone?
Tail element.
So,
Yes, keep it continue.
Yes, tail element reference exception occurs when an element is no longer attached to the DOM. This generally occurs when a page gets refreshed or a page gets reloaded.
Right, right. Right, how to handle it?
We can handle it using keeping the web element in the try catch blocks or using the retry mechanism.
Right.
we use the explicit wait.
Mm. Okay, we can also put that. Okay, fine then. Right, tail element means that is no longer attached to the DOM because of some maybe refresh. If we click on any web element, what will happen? Suddenly, sometimes page will automatically refresh. Previously identified element becomes tail. Right, so that what will happen if we try to click on it, these elements no longer attached to the DOM, previously identified elements. So we have to re-identify it again. Right, re-identify means we can use the try catch whenever the try block exception is occurs tail element in the catch block, we have to re-identify again driver.find element and then click on it. Or we can try to use the retry mechanism with the explicit wait combination. We can also use that. Right, that is also one more famous question we'll get. Okay, fine. One more tricky question. In Selenium, how would you open new tab? Right, my requirement is I want to open a new tab. How you will open?
We can use the action class, and then in the keyword operation, control plus T, we can add it, right? That one.
Which one? Control T.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that by using the action class. Right, anyone? Anything else we have?
In Selenium, there is a direct method for open a new tab like driver.switch to dot new window and then argument window type dot tab. So the methods is available after Selenium 4. So by using the
Right,
method, we
right.
can open new tab.
Selenium 4 we introduced a, yeah, right, new one. We can directly use it. But if you are using Selenium 3, we can use either an action class or JavaScript executor. We can window.open. That is JavaScript executor. We can also use it to open the new in Selenium 3. Selenium 4, we have a direct class. Okay, fine then. Coming to next one, let me see. What is the difference between soft assertion, hard assertions?
So,
Hard
for
and
example, if there are 10 lines of code, if you are writing, so in soft assertions, it will not throw any exception. If, for example, if there is any like exception or code is not correct in the fifth line, it will continue the execution for the 6, 7, 8, all the execution it will be completed, and at last it will throw the exception. In hard assertion, it will stop the execution then and there, and it will not move to the further.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Yeah, Ashish. Yeah. You want to say? Yeah, Ashish, you are on mute, Ashish.
Yes, sorry.
Mhm.
So hard assertion, if we have a test case, and inside the test case we have a multiple methods, and methods contain with multiple assertion. So using hard assertion, stop the test uh, okay, if any assertion will fail in hard assertion, so it will stop the test execution on a failure and immediately throws an exception on failure and stop all over the execution. But using soft assertion, it will continues the test even if the assertion fails and collects all failures and reports at the end.
Mhm. Okay. But okay, that is fine. Whatever you're telling, correct only. Right. When to use hard assertion and soft assertion?
If we are testing a critical functionality, like if one method depends on another, then we will use hard assert. It will stop the execution if one assertion is fail. Like we are creating a login ID password, and if after creation the creates, we need to log in. So before first method, we will create a script related to login ID password. If it is failed, then all over execution will be failed. So if we are testing a
Mhm.
critical scenario or depending scenario, so we will use hard assert.
Okay, that's fine. Right. Hard and soft assertions. Right. Whenever we are writing any Selenium scripts, right, using testing. Right, assertions are mandatory because why we are doing testing first thing. Why we are doing testing to identify the any issues are there in the application functionality is correctly working or not. Right. Whenever we are writing test cases, at least it should have one minimum one assertion more than we can have any number. Right. If you don't write assertion, that is not a test case. Right. Because we are writing test case to identify the right bugs or defects in the application. Right. Functionality working or not. That is the main reason why we are doing testing, either manual or automation. Why we are doing to identify the functionality issues, application working or not. Right. So in automation, how we need to identify those issues by using the assertion. Right. If we don't write assertion, what will happen? Test case will pass always. Right. We don't know whether functionality working or not. Right. A minimum one assertion. Right. We can have hard assertions, soft assertions in the test engine. Right. This is not provided by Selenium. Some people will confuse about it. Right. Selenium is different. TestNG is different. TestNG is the testing framework. Right. By using TestNG, we can write hard assertions or soft assertions. Right. Hard assertions means what? Right. When to use it. Basically, everyone theoretically can tell. Right. When to use these assertions. Let's suppose my some simple scenario. If we take a login, I want to add one user. I want to add one user. Right, I have written script. Right, enter username, enter password. Right, once password is entered, is successfully logged in or not, we will verify. Then click on the add user button, enter the fields and then submit it. Right, now suppose login itself not working. Right, after clicking on the login button due to some issue, login was not working, login functionality. Right, then there is no need to continue further. Right, then there is no need to continue further. Right, then there will be we will have assertion. Right, assertion we will write is login success or not. Right? How you will do hard assertion? Assert class by using assert dot assert equal assert true, right? Assert false we will have. Right? By using the assert class, we will do the hard assertion. Right? Whenever hard assertion is failed, it will break the test case. That means it will not continue further. That means I no need to test it further because this because login is not working. I no need to go further. There is no meaning of it. We go further also. Right? Such scenarios we will write a hard assertion. Right. Soft assertion means what? Right. I want to validate all. Suppose some scenario I have. I want to validate all and provide the results. Which one is failed? Suppose I clicked on add user button. I have entered first name, last name, email, all phone numbers, address. Right. I want submit it. It is saved in the database. Now I want to compare whatever entered in the UI with the database. I want to compare. Right. In that case, what I have to do? I have to compare all. Which one is not properly inserted? I have to show them. Right. I want to show which one is not properly inserted in the database. Right. In those cases, we will go for soft assertion. If we have a multiple validations, but I want to show which one is failed. Right. Then we will go for soft assertion. Soft assertion, how you will do? By using soft assert class. Right. Soft assert class. Right. We can create the object for it, and then we can call the method soft assert dot assert equal assert false. Right. Assert to. Then finally we have to call assert all. If we call assert all, then only all the validations it will do. Otherwise, it will not do. Right. Once we have to create the soft assert, we have to call all the method assertion, write down, and then finally call the assert all. Then it will show which one is passed and which one is failed. Right. Soft assert means it will not break usually our flow. Right. That is the difference. Soft assertion, hard assertion. Okay. Right. Next one. Right, what are data providers in testing? No one don't know.
Data
Data pro-
provider, sir? Yeah, go ahead.
So that data provider is a concept or annotation in TestNG. So if we have a multiple test data or a bunch of test data and I want to test single functionality by using multiple test data, so we can use the data provider.
All right. Yes. Anyone?
So when we want to run multiple test cases, right? We have like let's say 17 or 20 test cases. I want to run multiple, then we use the annotations at the data provider in TestNG so that this run will be seamless. So for that purpose only we use data.
Okay. Okay, right. A data provider, right? What the concept of it? TestNG, that it is one of the future. If I want to execute, suppose if you take a right Naukri, right Naukri, I want to create multiple users. Right, I want to create some 10 Naukri accounts. Right. Here functionality is same. Right. Creation of the Naukri account. Functionality is same, but only test data will be different. Right. Each time test data will be different, but functionality will be same. Right. In that case, how we will go? Right. We cannot create for each test data one test method. Right. That is not the correct. Right. If we have 100 Naukri users, I want to create 100 test methods. It's not the best one. Right? Then we can go with the concept called data provider. Here, what it will, we can keep it all the test data in the Excel, right? We can read all the data and store it in a two-dimensional object because, right, data provider will return two-dimensional object array. Right, so we can prepare the two-dimensional object. Right, same test case, I want to execute with different test data. Right, different test data. If we have that scenario, then we will go with the data provider. Right, we no need to create for each test data one test method. Some people will do that. Right, if we have one or two scenarios, that's fine. Right, one or two scenarios, different type data, that is fine. If we have more than 10, 20, right, then we have to go with the data provider, right? We don't need to create those many test methods and test it. Right? We can create a data provider concept and use it.
Sir, is
Yeah.
data provider is a concept of data-driven testing?
Right. That is called data-driven testing. Data-driven testing means testing the same functionality with the different types of data.
Okay, sir, got it. Thank you.
Right. One more question. What is depends on method in testing? Yes, Ashish.
Uh, in a depends on methods or depends on is a keyword in TestNG. If we have a multiple test, if we have a multiple test or multiple methods, if by using depends on method or depends on keyword, we can modify, we can control our test cases. If we have a test cases, if we have a two test cases and one test case depends on another test case, so by using depends on keywords, we can manage the test cases. Like if we have a test cases one and test cases two, and one is depends on two, so then we will apply depends on keywords in test cases one. So if test cases one will execute, then test case will two execute. If test case one will fail, then test case will two mark as a skip.
Right. Anyone?
So
Anyone want
depends
to
on
try?
method that basically is used to I mean measure the flow. I mean if you want to check the flow wise, right? We want to run one test case after. I mean like it will be used to control the flow of the execution. I mean is used on that.
Right, right, right. Actually, right, depends on method, right? We want to execute one after another, right? In those cases, we will go for it. But we can also use, there is a one more question we will get, right? We can also use priority to control the order of execution. Then what is the difference between these two? Anyone? Depends on method and priority.
Yes, sir. Priority is a keyword in TestNG. By using priority keyword, we can set up uh, execution direction. If we have a 10 test cases, so we can execute, we can use priority keyword in for an example 1, 2, 3, 4. So priority keywords in priority keywords we can use negative and positive number as well. But if we will not provide any priority keyword, so test cases will run as per the words on a test methods, and priority keywords indexing start from the zero. So
That's right. See, we know it that if we explain that much, right, it will not interested first thing. Right, straight
mhm,
question. My question is what is the difference between priority and depends on method?
mhm. So
Right,
depends on keywords is used
mm,
for depending if two test cases depend one test two if we have a two test cases and one is depends on another, then we will use depends keywords. And if we want to manage flow of the test cases and we have a 1 2 3 test cases, so we will use purity keyword, so it will use as per the purity purity
Depends
indexes.
also same thing, right? See, priority we are giving 0, 1, 2, 3. Why we are giving? I want to execute to first test case, first, second test case, second, third test case is start. Depends on method also same thing, right? I want to execute one after another, right? Both are same only, right?
Right, sir.
Right. But what is the difference here is when we will get a failure, right? Suppose in priority, what will happen? Suppose first test case is failed. Even though first test case is failed, second test case will execute.
Okay, got it. Yes,
Right?
right.
But it depends on method. If right first test case is failed, automatically second one is skipped. Right? Because of depends on method. Right? A dependent method is not executed properly. It will skip the next test case. It will not execute. Right? This is the difference. Right? We have to make sure that what is our while writing the right while using those priority and depends on which one we need to use based on the our requirement. Right? Sometimes the people will confuse and they will write a priority. But right, sometimes what will happen? First test case itself will fail, but still second test case, third test case, they will execute continue. Because of that, what will happen? Time increase the execution time. Even though those are all fail, we will know those will fail. But still those are all executing and it is taking longer time to complete our execution. So we must be very careful while using the priority or depends on which one we need to use. Right. Suppose if we take a scenario like login, one test case is for login, one test case is for add user, one test case is for delete user. Right. In this case, I want to execute first login, then add, and then delete. Right. If you use the priority, we can also go with the priority 0, 1, 2. We can keep it 0, 1, 2. Now, problem is what? If it is successfully executed, there is no issue. But suddenly login is failed. Right. If we use the priority, login is failed. But still, it will try to execute, right? Add user, delete user also. But here, what will happen? It will take some time to execute and fail the test cases. Right? It will increase the execution. So we have to right choose wisely which one we need to use. Here we need to use depends on method so that if login is failed, automatically add user, delete user will be skipped. Right? We will save the time. Right? That is uh, differences. Okay, fine. Anyone has any other questions?
Sir, for depends on method, can we give like depends on test A, depends on test, like multiple things can we give, or
We can
only it should be given only one value, or can we even
no, we can give one test case, right? Depends on multiple. Depends on method multiple. We can. That is your question? Or,
yeah, I had that doubt. Fine.
yeah, we can. Let's see. Whenever we are getting doubt means simple test case, we can create in the apply it. Right. Otherwise, that question will right in our mind only. Right? Just create the simple test case and that is just we can test it. Simple thing. So that you will get more clarity. When you do practice, we will get more clarity on the strategy. When if we listen theoretically, you will get only 50% of it. When you do practical 100%, you are make sure that okay. Syntax is also very important. Sometimes they will ask in interview, definitely they will ask syntaxes. Right, we must be very confident. Right, when we are getting one or two interview calls, we must be Right, everyone will tell theoretical. Right, anyone can
Sir,
tell.
from collections also,
Hmm.
apart from the theoretical part, will they even expect testers to write programs?
They will ask maybe, right, collections. Theoretically, they will ask, and then practical coming to, they will ask streams.
Oh,
Then nowadays they are asking about, suppose I have a list of integers, right, 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to print, right, even numbers. Right, you can iterate and do that, but they will ask in the streams. I have a map, right, map of student ID, right, student ID and I suppose student marks and name. I want to print marks greater than 30 or 40 by using streams. Right, nowadays these questions are right, streams questions are more. They are asking more. Sometimes they will ask how to iterate a map using streams. Right. Normally we can use lambda expression. Right. How to print by using lambda expression. Right. Definitely they will ask one programming question on collection. We will definitely expect. They were mostly asking streams or sometimes if you have 3 4 years of experience, then they will ask how to write iterate a hash map. Right. There are multiple ways to iterate the hash map. They will ask write iterator. Maybe they will ask more interested about iterator. They will ask how you will print by using iterator. We must be very right to practice. If you practice, then only you will remember the syntax. Otherwise, you will lose interview definitely. If you don't tell 1 or 2 questions, also they will reject it. Right. So simple questions, just to practice the right right. You should be in a position to write down the syntaxes. Right. Simple questions only, but that will make a right difference to other people. Right. And then also, whenever you are practicing any topic, apply to your real time in your project. Right. What is my requirement to this? Right. When you are depends on method. What is your requirement in your project? Where you got the requirement to use it? Right. You can create your own requirement and then note down it so that you can explain that. Suddenly, if they will ask, you can tell something else. Right, they will not. Right, we will easily. Right, they will easily understand. So he know the theoretical, but he did not apply it anyway. So write down the each topic and what is the requirement in our project, where I got the requirement to use it. If you did not apply, you can tell it. I did not get so far this requirement, this concept. Okay, fine. Any other doubts? Anyone has anything?
Sir, I have a one question. What is a relationship and has a relationship in a Java?
Oh, okay. Okay, I have to go through it. I will come up. Okay. Those are all inheritance concept. I use a as a right. We'll discuss. I will
Okay, okay, sir. Mhm.
right. I will go through it, but I right. If I tell something, you will be confused. Right. I have to go through it. I will clearly explain.
Okay, sir. Mhm.
Okay. Anything? Anything? Okay then. If you don't have anything, we'll meet tomorrow.
If you don't
Right.
mind, I have one last
Yeah.
question.
Yeah, Sharon.
So, what is meant by that invocation for testing?
Invocation. I did not get it. Yeah.
Invocation count we have right in testing.
Right. 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 Yeah. Ashish, you want to explain? Yeah.
Oh, yes. If invocation count is also keywords in TestNG. By using invocation count, we can run our test cases in multiple times. Like if we have a test cases A and we want to run in 10 times, 12 times. So by using invocation count keyword, we can run it.
Right. Sometimes, right, we want to test it as a performance test. Right. Same test case I want to execute multiple times. Right, same test case I want to repeat multiple, maybe performance testing. Someone asked, I want to execute login test case 100 times. Right, how you will do it? If you don't know about the invocation count, how we will do it 100 times? Maybe for loop you will write, or in the TestNG file you will copy paste 100 times. Right, instead of that, TestNG has a attribute. In the @ test annotation, we have an attribute invocation count. You can keep it. How many times I want to execute same test case. Right, if I keep 10 times, same test case will execute 10 times. Invocation count is executing same test case, whatever number you provide.
Got it. Fine.
Okay, okay then. Right, I have posted these sessions on the YouTube. Just go open it and just like and comment it. Okay, okay, yeah. Thank you all. Thanks for attending. Yeah, we'll meet tomorrow then. Yeah. Thank you all. Bye.